We covered the mouth and how ingestion, mechanical digestion, and chemical digestion in the mouth tie into digestion. And just a disclaimer that the picture on the right is a zoomed-in picture of the diagram on the left. Ingestion can be defined as the process of taking food or drink into the body by either swallowing or absorbing it. Ingestion plays a crucial role in getting digestion started because digestion starts at the mouth when you chew the ingested food. When you start to chew ingested food, the salivary glands make saliva, which is a digestive juice that moistens the food. These salivary glands are the parotid gland, the sublingual gland, which is under the tongue, and the submandibular gland, which is under the mandible. This moistening of the food allows this food to move more easily through the esophagus and into the stomach. Aside from just moistening the food, this saliva also has an enzyme that begins to break down starches within the food, another part of digestion. Without the initial intake of food or ingestion, there would be no food to digest and therefore no need for digestion to ever begin.
Teeth are very useful in our mechanical digestion. We open and close our jaws to allow teeth to tear and grind the food, breaking it down to smaller fragments. By the age of 21, everyone has two sets of teeth. The primary dentitions, aka the baby teeth, which appear around 6 months old. Then there are the permanent teeth that enlarge and develop under the primary, causing them to loosen and fall out. Usually the wisdom tooth is the last one to emerge. There are 32 permanent teeth in a complete set. Teeth are classified by their shape and function. There are incisors, which are used for cutting or nipping off pieces of food. These are chisel-shaped. Then there are fang-like canines, which are used to tear and pierce the food. And the last type is the molars, that have broad crowns with rounded cusps for grinding and crushing. Every tooth has two major regions. This is the crown and the root. The crown is the exposed part, the part that comes out of the gum. The crown is covered by enamel, which takes the impact of chewing. It is known to be the hardest material in the body. Then there is the root, which is in the gum. Most teeth have one root, but molars can have two. These both are connected together by a region in the tooth called the neck. There is also the tongue, which helps a lot with mechanical digestion. The tongue moves food between the teeth. It fills most of the oral cavity. The tongue is made up of a bunch of skeletal muscle fibers. It mixes food with saliva to form a compact called bolus. It pushes the bolus down into the pharynx. The tongue also helps to speak, as it is needed for many consonants. The tongue has many parts. One, the filiform papillae, gives a surface that helps in licking semi-solid objects like ice cream. They also provide friction for manipulating food in the mouth. They align in parallel rows in the front of the tongue. Then there's a fungiform papillae that is scattered widely over the tongue surface. This is the thing that gives the tongue its reddish color. The last type is the circumvallate papillae, which resembles a fungiform, except these are located in a V-shaped row at the back of the tongue. Both fungi and circumvallate have taste buds.
Next is chemical digestion. It is the breakdown of food into molecular blocks using enzymes, so it's breaking it down to the molecular level. In order for the chemical digestion to take place, saliva is needed. The saliva is produced by extraneous salivary glands that are outside the oral cavity and empty their secretions to it. There are three specific glands. You got the sublingual gland, parotid gland, and submandibular gland. Amylase is the enzyme that breaks down carbohydrates. The polysaccharides is broken down to monosaccharides to get the sugar out of the starches. They are secreted from the salivary gland and works in the mouth. You can see that the enzymes are breaking it all down by cutting it off. To get into more detail, the salivary amylase, the enzyme in saliva, starts the chemical breakdown of polysaccharides, starches, and glycogen. into smaller fragments of linked glucose molecules. Chemical digestion of starch begins in the mouth. Salivary amylase present in saliva splits starches into smaller fragments of 2 to 8 linked monosaccharides or glucose molecules. Salivary amylase works best in slightly acidic to neutral environment, so that means having a pH level of 6.25 to either 7.00, maintained in the mouth by buffering effects of bicarbonate and phosphate ions in saliva. Starch digestion continues until amylase is inactivated by stomach acid.